going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. It's Wednesday, it's hump day, smack dab in the middle of the week, and if we do have a look at the charts, we're seeing a slight recovery from yesterday, which is good. Woke up this morning, everything was kind of going back up again. If we look at some of the biggest changes of the day, we have Power Ledger, Wax, Walton, Basic Attention Token, Kyber, Ethos, Stratus, MadeSafe, and Digibyte. All pretty solid coins, guys. So that's pretty good news. Also, if you haven't noticed, aside from the fact that Ripple changed their logo, they now officially have changed to XRP. And let me explain to you why they're being really serious about this, okay? So check this out. They've actually sent this to influencers such as myself, other YouTubers, content creators, and they've literally said, hello, since your publication has been a key player in reporting on both Ripple and XRP, we thought it would be useful to clarify how the two phrases should be used. XRP describes an independent digital asset, whereas Ripple is the name of a technology company and should not be used as a replacement for the phrase XRP. Referring to XRP as Ripple's XRP, Ripple XRP, or any other reference to Ripple as a digital asset is incorrect and an improper use of Ripple's wordmark and intellectual property. A more accurate way to refer to XRP and its ticker symbol would be XRP, XRP. As you may have seen, CoinMarketCap recently removed the phrase Ripple from the site and replaced it with the correct phrase XRP. We're hopeful that more sites like yours will begin to correctly use the phrases as well. Please be advised that we will be reaching out for corrections anytime we see the two phrases used incorrectly. So I guess the XRP police are here, guys. So I guess from now on, I'm going to have to refer to it as XRP and not Ripple. So that being said, moving on, I wanted to kind of point out something that I found a little bit interesting, not trying to stir up the pot here, but hey man, if it's out there, we need to talk about it. So we all know Ian Balina, he got hacked, right, live, doing his live stream. So basically, you have Stan over here, LendXO on Twitter, saying, so new twist in Ian's plot. He was allegedly hacked, contacted Binance, his tokens left, 2 hackers' accounts were taken care of, but out of the blue, Ian received mainframe and Quark chain tokens to his old hacked accounts and sends them to the same Binance. If you were hacked, and hackers obviously have your keys, access to your accounts, why in the world would you receive your newly tokens to those old stolen accounts? Doesn't add up. And then send them back to the same Binance account a hacker used to sell all of his tokens. This story is so ridiculous and the chair is burning under Ian. And then also, if you look at Jason Moe, he also says that Balina received his mainframe and Quark chain tokens in the same Ether accounts that he said that were hacked. Here's the 2 accounts right here. And as you can see, they are active. See, you had these that happened 89 days, 117 days ago, and then just recently you have these 2 days and 6 days ago, and then 6 days ago here for the mainframe tokens. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. What is your opinion on this hacking that happened? I'm not trying to spread anything. I'm just being very objective here. It's kind of interesting. If you knew that your account was compromised, why would you use the same exact account and send it to the same Binance account as well? Very interesting, very interesting. Let's get off that. Moving on, let's talk about Litecoin Foundation has acquired 9.9% stake in Germany's WEG Bank AG. The deal is a result of a new strategic partnership with crypto fiat payments Tokenpay. Tokenpay has announced that its 99% equity share of the bank to the Litecoin Foundation will be in exchange for an agreement that will see the Litecoin Foundation providing its blockchain marketing and logistics expertise to the benefit of Tokenpay's cryptocurrency and business operations. Charlie Lee of Litecoin had to say, this partnership is a huge win-win for both Litecoin and Tokenpay. I'm looking forward to integrating Litecoin with the WEG Bank AG and all the various services it has to offer to make it simple for anyone to buy and use Litecoin. I'm also excited about Litecoin's support in Tokenpay's eFin decentralized exchange. So there you go. That's a little bit coming out of the Litecoin camp. Now moving on to more of these rampant Twitter Ethereum giveaway scams that are just literally taking over the Twitter space. Finally, Elon Musk made a tweet and he said, I want to know who is running the Ethereum scam bots, Mad Skills. And then Vitalik actually responded and said, I do wish that Elon Musk's first tweet about Ethereum was about the tech rather than the Twitter scam bots. Although I think what everybody's really talking about is Ethereum with an I. That's all that I notice. But also, a lot of people are saying that these scam bots on Twitters are considered a minor nuisance. We all know that they're fake. But essentially most of the crypto community blamed the victim itself for getting roped into this scheme, which is pretty fairly obvious. I mean, at this point, unless you basically just got into cryptocurrencies yesterday, anytime anyone on Twitter is claiming to give away Ethereum, it's most likely a scam, okay? So that being said, let's talk about some other news. We have Opera. So Opera is the mobile browser. They have that built-in VPN. They're launching new browser software that has a built-in cryptocurrency wallet. So its new version of the Opera browser for Android combines easy-to-use crypto wallet functionality with support for the Ethereum Web3 API. The browser is currently in private beta, which the company is now inviting new users to join. Interesting. So Bitmain just recently invests in Opera, and now they roll out a cryptocurrency wallet. So this means that users no longer have to open a new web browser or download a separate extension to send, receive, and pay in cryptocurrency, and now they can do directly from a toggle on their browser on their mobile Android device. Also, guys, if you're interested, Bitcoin Gold, so they have released a new version of their wallet because several days ago they had their first successful hard fork, which implemented a new mining algorithm in an attempt to keep away ASIC miners and prevent double spend or 51% attacks, which is actually interesting because we're going to kind of talk about that later on the show today with Rob from ZenCash. But basically, to meet the system changes, Bitcoin Gold organization, the body developing BTG, upgraded the wallet. Also, speaking of other wallets that got upgraded as well, we do have the City of Zion releasing the Neon wallet 0.2.6. There are a few changes that had to do with stability, performance enhancements, etc. They also added Spotcoin, Asura, and PegUSD. But I did want to mention that I have heard talks that they are looking to develop a whole brand new user interface for the wallet coming very soon. They want to revamp it. They want to give it a whole makeover. So be on the lookout for that. They're going to definitely be releasing that pretty soon. Another interesting thing is if you come over to this website, anythingcrypto.com, where they talk about how long it takes to send and receive transactions. In this particular case, you can pick where you want to look at. So according to this Binance deposit speed comparison, says that Icon, its native token, is currently the fastest deposit time, beating NANO by 1 second. So NANO takes 3 seconds and Icon takes 2 seconds. I don't know. I haven't actually tested this out myself, but this is really interesting. I know that they recently said that they were able to do 9,000 transactions per second on Icon, but I think Nano is supposed to be like even faster than that. So I don't really know the validity of this, but I have used this site before. As you can see right here, Neo does 20 seconds, Verge, and then also we have all these other projects that it says 7 minutes and 30 seconds, but that's only because of a 15-second Ethereum confirmation where you have to do 30 confirmations. So obviously these are all ERC20 tokens after that. I thought that was really, really interesting. Also, guys, moving on to the mysterious project that is Perlin. So this is an upcoming ICO that we've kind of heard a lot of people talk about. There's been a little bit of FUD around it. Some people have been speaking about how maybe the team hasn't been transparent on the tokenomics or something of that nature. Not too sure about all that, guys. I do know that the official white paper has been released, and on top of that, they say noise is defined as an unwanted sound judged to be unpleasant, loud, and otherwise disruptive to one's hearing. Here at Perlin, noise is our first project we're open sourcing within the next 24 hours. And then if you look over here, it says their project noise is now public, and they have a whole bunch of stuff alluding to what that is, what it does, etc. So, I don't know. I've been hearing a lot about Perlin, guys. Perlin does seem, I'm hearing some negative things, I'm hearing some positive things. I think I'll have to dive into this one and give it a full-blown research video in the future moving forward. Also, guys, so you have Nate Hindman, Bancor's head of communications, has kind of spoken out again as far as the whole Bancor incident. So afterward, the token were frozen by the Bancor Foundation in the contract. Now they're looking for help to track the stolen funds. Obviously, they were able to freeze this because it's not as decentralized as we all thought it was, as we found out yesterday. So Nate Hinman said that the service is coordinating with a number of industry players to come up with tools and technology that would help the industry cooperate more effectively when hacks occur. He said these mechanisms include a real-time blacklist that tracks offending addresses and stolen assets, as well as an an emergency fund that compensates projects when theft occurs. There is plenty more to do here, and we look forward to working with our peers across the industry to make everyone stronger and smarter as we move forward together. Collaboration is not just a concept, it's a practice, and we are grateful for the support and assistance. There you guys go. So that being said, I did want to welcome a guest from ZenCash. So we have the team leader, Rob. He wanted to stop by today. Initially, we were going to talk about 51% attacks, things of that nature. Then we found out that there was actually some updates. So without further ado, we'll just hop right into that right now. By the way, guys, if you want to skip forward to the news afterwards, I have left the timestamps below. So that being said, here we go.
What's going on, guys? Today I got to sit down with Rob from ZenCash. He had a whole bunch of really awesome news and updates that he wanted to go over with me. And I said, why don't you just come on the channel and let everybody know yourself, basically. So what's going on, Rob?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, really, this is kind of just teeing up some big things we have in the pipeline that, you're going to see in the next 1 to 2 months kind of coming out. So probably the biggest thing that we've been working on really is the kind of code mods to the longest chain rule, which I think are going to be really important for the industry on mitigating this 51% attack threat that we have going on. So what we can say is that the coding is going well, and we're going to have that on testnet in 1 to 2 weeks. So there'll be more to talk about once we actually get it there and actually kind of prove it under stress that this stuff actually works. But then some other big updates. So we're going through, and again, I'm just teeing this up because we really can't talk about the details. It's kind of like our little top secret project, but we've been working on a bit of a brand expansion, we're calling it. Not a rebrand per se, but really kind of expanding the brand out, kind of signaling that we're really pivoting away from being just a cryptocurrency. And we've been talking about this for a while, but now we're actually kind of pivoting like on our brand, our messaging, and our technology into more of the platform space. So that's coming up, and I think by the end of August, we're going to be moving kind of towards this brand extension. And then probably the third really cool thing coming up in the end of Q3, early Q4. I don't know if your listeners have heard about the kind of Grayscale Investment Trust. They're setting up a Zen Investment Trust over at Grayscale for us. That's a DCG company, which is really cool because then this is kind of been a bit of a long time in coming, where they've been doing their due diligence on the project, and now what they're doing is they're structuring this kind of institutional and accredited investor focused trust where bigger investors will be able to buy into the project and hold it through their custodian services.
Oh, wow. Wow, that actually is pretty impressive updates. I'm very interested in to see what you guys are going to do with that brand expansion. So are you essentially looking to be more infrastructure? Is that you're kind of going in that direction?
That's exactly it. Yeah, so that's exactly the direction we're going. And we're doing it in kind of a unique way. So we're actually building out a very interesting side chaining architecture. So we're looking at adding, kind of extending the scripting languages in the code to be compatible for smart contracting, but doing this on side chains. So really, we're looking at this as kind of like a massively scalable version of doing smart contracting. And then from there, it opens the door for a whole bunch of very interesting platform applications. So
yeah, absolutely. A lot of people have been using side chains lately. I mean, essentially, if you really look at it in theory, it makes it infinitely scalable as long as your chains are able to have that cross communication with each other, which obviously if you're essentially cloning or forking or using your blockchain as a service, it's a possibility.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I mean, we're doing cool stuff on the scalability side on chain, with this whole kind of block DAG stuff. I'm sure Rolf probably talked about when you had him on. But I think the really kind of infinite scalability stuff is really coming on the sidechain side. Like if we had a crypto kitty, we would be on our right. We would be perfectly fine, and life's good. But you don't want to clog your main chain with stuff like that.
I think my connection just got clogged with the CryptoKitty talk right now. It actually had a little bit of a blip. So I mean, Rob, while you're here, what is your personal opinion on all this this hacking, this having kind of backdoor entrances that now are being compromised by these the hackers? They're evolving. So what is your take on the overall security of the space? Where do you see this going? What do you think we need to do, and what do you think are some possible solutions?
Yeah, honestly, we've been a bit amateur as an industry, and we really need to tighten things up a bit. So I think the whole 51% attack stuff for us was just a kick in the butt, like wake up call, because we've known about this threat in the industry for the last 10 years. No one's really done anything about it. There's some projects doing some interesting stuff like Komodo with the notarization scheme. But really, like no one's thought about touching the longest chain rule, which is really the vulnerability for this type of attack. And then, of course, you see nonstop, like parity breaches. You've got decentralized exchange now being breached. Right? It's like one thing after another. So I think what this is, though, it's signaling that the industry is massively successful in the sense that now it's worthwhile for hackers to kind of, build professions by trying to destroy it, crack it. But at the same time, now we have more of a responsibility to our users to actually, get back and like go to basics on security and take it seriously.
Yeah, I think it's a tough road ahead because everybody wants everything instantly decentralized 100% right away. But the problem is that when you don't have that kill switch, you know what I mean, which essentially would be centralized, you're basically opening up Pandora's box. And as we've seen with smart contracts and Ethereum, especially a lot of them being, unmutable, you can't change them. What happens if there's a bug in it? Or, for example, even what happened with the unfortunate case with the morph tokens where, there was a mint code that was kind of snuck in there and that got exploited. So it's definitely tough, man.
No, and that's why I think that to do this stuff really responsibly, it's better to go on side chains because especially the more, Bitcoin was deliberately restricted in the scripting functions on code to keep it more secure. And then, of course, the functionality that users demand comes from adding more, extending your scripting language, but then it introduces a broader threat surface. So the way that we're trying to do it is we want to go responsible. We want to do this stuff on dedicated side chains that really, if something goes wrong, it's not going to be catastrophic to the system.
Yeah, absolutely. So when do you think, for example, can we expect to see you rolling this out? Is this what's the roadmap looking like?
Yeah, so not to be overly optimistic here with it. So this is something that right now we're architecting. So we're looking at side chains by probably to be very conservative, probably Q1 of next year.
Okay.
So we have a very kind of rich pipeline and roadmap right now that we're building out. What we're doing right now is we're focusing hard on the product side. So we're actually trying to build really nice products for users, which I think is something very lacking in the industry. And while we have the product focus going on now, in the background, we're doing the architectural work on the broader infrastructure.
That's good. So you guys are focused on user experience, basically. Yeah, you need that. I agree with you. Yep. That's the problem is we have these unbelievably smart tech geniuses in the space, but then your grandma goes to use it and she's just like, huh? Like how to
exactly.
Well, I have the manual just to figure out how to send my funds, so
exactly.
Yeah. But you guys are awesome because one of the things I liked about what you I don't know if you pioneered this, but one of the people that I found really pushed it to the forefront was the messages that you could send back and forth. To me, that's really cool. You could write a note and because think about things like Twitter and these little messages, and I just like that concept as well. So I know you guys have always been out there kind of pushing the envelope on the tech, and I'm definitely excited to see what you have rolling out, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. And one thing I forgot to mention, this goes towards our infrastructure build out, is we're doing a hard fork actually in 2 weeks now. So the target block date I think is for July 19th is the hard fork. So less than 2 weeks, like a week and a half. Yeah. And this hard fork, we've been doing a ton of prep into it. So it's a software improvement, but then it's also, and very importantly, we're changing the block reward dynamics. So we're introducing something called super nodes, which actually are kind of like we're building a multi-tiered node architecture now, where the super nodes are kind of like the pit bosses to like our secure nodes, which are like the dealers in our environment. And the super nodes are going to have a 500 Zen staking requirement and like much bigger hardware requirements that we're levying out there because we want more sophisticated machines so we can do sophisticated things on top of them. And this goes live actually July 19th, which the big thing for the economics of our system is that our secure node rewards are going up to 10% of block rewards, and now our super node rewards, which are going from 0 to 10%. So it'll be very interesting dynamics. I think this is actually much better for decentralization in the sense that not all the rewards go to miners. Like in case you have a Bitmain out there that goes and dominates everything, like you don't want some very sophisticated miner to now have a majority block rewards. So just kind of parsing this out into two different sources now I think is very interesting from the economics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember you guys were always very fair with the distribution when it came to that. I remember you didn't really have to use a lot of, you don't have to stake much to run a node, right? It's only a few of them.
Yeah, so for the secure nodes we have, this is 42 Zen. which
Yeah.
is not very large economically. The super nodes are supposed to be a little bit bigger of a deal economically, so 500 Zen on that. But it'll be interesting to see how things unroll there. Really, what we're trying to do with the super nodes is to bring all of the kind of tracking and payment logic that we do kind of on server clusters right now for the secure nodes. We're trying to migrate that all on chain to be really censorship resistant and just make everything much more efficient and kind of like auditable, traceable, and all that. So that'll be really, really good upgrade.
Yeah, so just to clarify for everybody, because I know sometimes people think hard forks mean free money. What type of a hard fork is this? Is this one where the old chain kind of gets forgotten about type thing?
Right.
Or, right.
Yeah, this is a software upgrade.
Okay.
Hard fork.
All right. Just so everybody out there, you know what I'm saying? You know, that it's got the tech, but we're not trying to pump and dump the coin right now. Okay, guys?
Yeah. Right. That's an important point for clarification. Yeah. And
because people they'll just instantly start being like, that's a fork, like, you know, and then madness ensues, and then false information gets spread and everything like that. So this is going to be a hardcore tech upgrade, which is going to be a lot more useful in the long run. Absolutely, man. So
exactly.
Yeah, Rob, thanks for stopping by on the channel. I know it was super quick today. We just kind of wanted to get the information out there. But, you know, I had spoke to Rolf, I think it was several months back, really intrigued with the process. You know, he was super enthusiastic the same way that you are. And I know you guys have a really great community. And I appreciate you just coming on and having the opportunity to kind of just get the word out there and let everybody know that, you know, you guys are really busy in the background.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot, man.
Cool. Cheers.
So yeah, guys, that's basically some of the updates coming out of ZenCash and just sort of the opinions on the space. You know, we do know security is a big issue moving forward. If you guys didn't have an opportunity to check out my original ZenCash interview that I did with Rolf, you could check that out. I'll leave a link in the description for that as well. Now, moving on to the rest of the news for the day. So the Libertarian Party urges Trump to pardon Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht. Now, if you guys don't know, he was basically the guy that founded the Silk Road, which was the darknet website where people were buying and selling, you know, doing illegal drug trading, etc., using Bitcoin and other, well, actually, I think it was primarily Bitcoin at the time. So a lot of people are basically saying that it's unfair that this guy has to basically spend a life sentence in prison because he didn't design the Silk Road specifically for drugs. He designed it to be a P2P marketplace where people could buy and sell without intermediary third-party interference. Basically, unfortunately, people using the website decided that they were going to start buying and selling drugs illegally, and in turn, he was the one that basically took the punishment and got sent to a lifetime in prison, which I personally don't think that was fair. You know, he didn't create it to be a place for drugs to be sold. That's just what some people ended up doing. And this is, you know, same thing that we saw with Charlie Shrem, you know, when he got locked up for a little bit too. I mean, he was basically he had a Bitcoin buying and selling. It was almost like a local Bitcoins type thing back in the day, and, you know, people took advantage of it. So, but that's the thing, you know, these guys, they come in, they want to point the finger, they want a figurehead, they want somebody to take down, right? Which is one of the reasons why I think Satoshi decided to remain anonymous all these years. So in other news, we have China's control over the global Bitcoin exchange market has fallen to 1%. Sure it has. Moving on, major Korea logistics firm Lot, they're big in Seoul, so they're a shipping firm, and they've joined the Blockchain and Transport Alliance. That's BITA. Also, I wanted to drop this very lengthy article. I'm not going to go into it right now, but it's entitled "Regulators are slowly starting to get it." Can't speak today, guys. Regulators are slowly starting to get it. Utility tokens are real. So just scroll down here. It's a huge article, but I think it kind of points the fact that, you know, people always like to say that, you know, you can't separate from you can separate blockchain from cryptocurrencies. And they're saying that you kind of can't currently. So I want you to just read this. This is coming from Regulators. Very interesting. And then finally, in some good news, we have the case for the Bitcoin reaching 50K by the end of 2018. So once again, you have hedge fund trader and Bitcoin researcher known by his online alias Spook recently releasing a very simple Bitcoin prediction chart. Obviously, it's, you know, not too technical, guys, right here. So basically, in a nutshell, he just points out the fact that after a 70 to 90% correction, Bitcoin tends to surge by large margins to the upside, while it first needs to secure a relatively short period of stability, which in crypto is equivalent to a couple weeks. Bitcoin, along with the rest of the market, will always surge beyond the all-time high to achieve new support levels. And guys, we've seen it time and time and time again. Bitcoin had its peak here, then it went down, the China FUDs, then it went up, boom. Okay, so there you go. And if that doesn't make you happy, how about this girl with her Let's Talk Crypto Bitcoin Ethereum project that she had for school? I hope that the teacher was very kind and understanding in the grading of this project. That being said, guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming back to my channel. You guys are awesome. I appreciate everything that you guys say, everything that you drop in the description below, all your comments, smashing on that like button, definitely getting subscribed if you haven't. Ooh, man, I cannot talk today. I think it's time for me to get out of here, guys. So that being said, my name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.